Yo, what's up, guys? I'm here with my last game for World Cup. My opponent is Dragonclaw from Team Germany, and I didn't want to record my second game because it was just too long, about 100 plus turns, so didn't want to sit and narrate through that. But if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave the replay link in the description. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. So, as far as my opponent, I felt he was pretty weak to Volk, just from what I've seen in his replays. I saw quite a few Corviknights, Clefables, Mew, and some other stuff like Aegis Slash, and all of which Volk abuses. So felt that be the best bring. And Tapu Fini as well was something else I saw he was quite susceptible to. Mostly the Calm Mind variant, but I'm not Calm Mind on this team, I'm Defog. So yeah, this team is actually pretty old. It was built back when Urshifu, Spectre, and Pheromosa were in the tier. So this team is just very ancient. But yeah, I just retested, made a couple of adjustments to it. Tested with Finch and Joey, and it did very well. So figured why not just bring it. Yeah, so just looking at it, we got Specs, Polt, Ban, ZAPDOS, which actually just ravaged my opponent because he has a very offensive team and offense does not like Dragapult. And yeah, like this team has like pretty incredible offense matchup as a whole between just Polt, and this offense usually has 0 switch-ins with ZAPDOS. I'd say the one issue with this team is that the ground immune is ZAPDOS, but every team has its weaknesses, so just gotta accept that. And yeah, so this game plan, Volk is not gonna be able to sweep, I don't think, because he has Heatran plus Chomp. Though defensively is incredible, being able to guard against Kartana, Rillaboom, Weavile, being able to tank hits from both Cart and Weavile at +2. Because I am bulky Volk the best set, so if those try to SD, I could just throw Volk in there. Dragapult, no good ghost resist outside that Weavile, which dies to Draco, so he has to be very careful. I also have Surf for Heatran, so that's not safe either. And it's faster than literally everything on this team, so Dragapult is definitely the biggest threat. Chomp, Rocky Helmet, guards all against Kartana, and Heatran, Rillaboom, things like that. Though I'm mostly throwing Volk on the grass types. But yeah, Chomp, definitely it's not like incredibly useful, but it's just there to get up rocks, and to hamper the 2 grasses, and then Pharaoh. It's pretty difficult to KO, though he's most likely Fire Move Chomp on this style of team. And this team is mostly grounded, like literally like 6 grounded mons, so spikes go a long way. Just one spike is going to help me a lot. And then Tapu Fini is there to beat Heatran, Chomp, Weavile. And then ZAPDOS, he has no good fighting resist. Lele is the resist, but like with hazards up, I can really only switch in once to bandit close combat, and it comes in for free versus Heatran, Cart, Rillaboom. So all that being said, I had a pretty heavy matchup advantage. Polt just picks up KOs alongside ZAPDOS. Those two in combination just chew his team up. I beat everything defensively between Volk plus Chomp plus Fini. So yeah, I don't really have to do anything crazy to win. So I felt really comfortable in this, just going into it. Lele is a better prediction whether he'd go for Spec Psychic or Focus Blast, but I'd have to scout to see if he's even Specs, not Spec Scar first off. So yeah, just pretty simple game. Just have to play well, and that's pretty much it. So let's hop right into it. As at least ZAPDOS, figured it'd just be best because it destroys his entire team. Only thing that leads well against it is Weavile, which doesn't really do well versus me outside. I don't know, like it doesn't Oko anything beside Chomp. So I didn't think he'd lead with that anyway. And I have ways to deal with it between Finny, Volt, So the Lele lead. Funnily enough, this situation actually came up in testing versus Joey. He'd lead Lele versus ZAPDOS, and then I'd go to Pharaoh to check for the Scarf, but apparently he's not Scarf because I switched first. So right off the bat, I know that he's likely Specs, as he doesn't want to die, obviously, because Braver would just destroy him. So he takes the hard switch out to Heatran, which makes sense. Nothing else can take a Brave Bird, so that play makes sense there. As this is fine. I'm heavily Spadef on Finny, so I know I can take Magma Storms. I don't want rocks up on my side this early, because that's going to hamper ZAPDOS' ability to switch in repeatedly and Dragapult. So I want to be able to switch between my mons freely. So to go for Defog, just the best play there, as maybe get rid of the rocks so I'm not taking too much from Heatran. Only around, I believe, 17%. Yeah. Just fire off a Scald. It's safe. I don't need to do anything crazy. If he decides to stay in, get a huge chunk off, because he's the offensive Heatran, he'll do around 50%. So still pretty solid positioning as he goes to Lele on Finny. Scald just covers everything. If he decides to hard to one of his grass types and I got the burn, that'd be excellent, but makes the better play. As I pull the switch out to Pharaoh, though annoying, he's just gonna spec Psychic. No way you Focus Blast there, just doesn't make sense. I could just stay in on that, so don't really want to lose that much momentum had I just stayed in with Finny. As I figured Pharaoh would be pretty safe, as what this allows for me to get up a Spike. I mean, if he decided to stay in a Psychic again, it wouldn't Twig Heal, so Spike was pretty free. As now decide to shift the momentum and go hard ZAPDOS. A lot of players in this position do get greedy and just go for rocks mindlessly without taking into account that going straight for the attack is probably actually better long term. To say he Magma Stormed here, I'd be in range of Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, Kartana guaranteed, but so let's go for rocks, which is, I don't think was the best play, but people always want those up, as I know you just do that. So figures out those would be best. No real point going Finny and just Scalding. It doesn't really gain me anything. And I know ZAPDOS never goes down to offensive Heatran. So here I just fire off a close combat. Does 30% to the Lele. Like I said, 4 times resist, but that's not going to help him. Especially with that spike up, putting him in range of the next one. As I actually calced it, it said that he died to the next close combat, so I just went straight for it. I didn't want to really lose momentum by switching ZAPDOS out. I want to just get my KO. Do take a bit of a risk there, but I felt it was worth it to not let the Lele get away. As he goes straight for Focus Blast, which doesn't really make sense. I don't agree with that. Like 2 Psychics would have did enough to Pharaoh to the point where it can't switch into anything anymore. Sorry about that. As yeah, Focus Blast was just like an insane play. If you were gonna Focus Blast, you might as well just Psychic, then as I went to Pharaoh, go to Heatran, because still at full, you don't really have to worry about anything. So yeah, that works out for me. So I'm able to just kill this Lele for free, and walk away with my ZAPDOS unscathed. As goes to Weavile, and doubles out to Kartana. Solid double on his end, knowing that most likely Finny is coming out. This is not an issue though. Again, I don't need to do anything crazy. Chomp, even if he doubled, was safe, as I am defensive, so I'll be able to tank anything from Kartana. So I went to Chomp over Volk, because I figured that it could most likely end game If I'm able to remove Eren's item, he balloon, so he could be toxic. I don't think he'd run toxic, especially on an offensive team like this. Maybe like taunt, so Volk could actually beat him with no leftovers. So that's what I was thinking there. Volk, which is better, versus like an end game Rillaboom situation, keeping that at full. So just throw Chomp in there because I know I could tank any hit from Cart. As he goes for an SD, which is fine, but he crits, which is huge. That matters for sure because, as you can see, he reveals to be timid Cart because he had plus speed after the KO. So +2 Leaf Blade to defensive Chomp does 60 to 80% max. So guaranteed live there, as I'll be able to knock him out with Flamethrower. Then what that means is Cart gone means I'm up 6-4. What that means I win the sack war because he'll kill me with likely Weavile afterward. I go to Tapu Fini, click Moonblast. He's forced to take around 40% plus a spike on Rillaboom. And yeah, just be a very solid situation for me because I'd be up by so many mons that it doesn't matter what he did. No matter how many doubles he pulled, I'd be able to win because I just have a huge advantage. But Chomp getting crit there just blows, as now I have to give him a 2-for-1 deal pretty much. I have to sack Volk for no reason, and I shouldn't have had to do that. So Card takes a huge hit, not Card, Volk takes a huge hit, which means that now I'm in range of Rillaboom and Weavile, which really just sucks, as he goes to Weavile to KO me, and now it's a lot more of a shaky end game because I had to throw away Volk there. Essentially, I couldn't really switch. I don't want Finny getting knocked off, so decided that staying in was just the best overall play. Do lose a sack, but again, it's not worth keeping Volk. It's at 12%. So yeah, go to Dragapult. Here's where I wish I had U-turn, but I do not. Just go straight for Draco. If you wanted to stay in for some reason, I knock him out. As I go hard to Finny, I don't really want to go hard ZAPDOS that time because after rocks plus Magma Storm damage, I could actually die. So don't want to do that, and I don't want to put myself in range of Chomp or Rough Skin and things like that. So Tapu Fini just the best play, as he Earth Power plus Magma Storms me down, putting me in range of Weavile, which kind of really had no choice because I lost my sack fodders. As I go for Skull, I get a crit. I mean, those are rolls. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Makes up for the crit on Chomp, but not really though. Like, it cost me a whole 2 mons, basically. So yeah, he goes to Chomp there and just knocks me out with EQ. I can't switch. I could have, but it's not worth him SDing or something like that. Now here, I have to go to ZAPDOS over Dragapult, because if I Draco, I almost guaranteed lose if he either gets a Haro knock on Pharaoh, Icicle Crash, Flinch, or has low kick. Then I just guarantee lose because Pharaoh just goes right down to that at +2. So I can't go to Polt and Draco. ZAPDOS is my best bet because it lives all hits from Chomp, bar a 5-hit scale shot, which he does actually get. So yeah, that's just mons. As it's pretty just disappointed at that he, like, all of that, then he got 5 hits. Like, come on, man. Like, if I was able to knock out Chomp there, I actually had a shot, because he go to Weavile, he'd be forced to. He knocked me out. I go back to Pharaoh. He has no Gyro Ball switching at that point. Then it's a bit of a 50-50 with Rillaboom, whether you go for the fighting move or the knock. But at that point, I probably just stay in, then go to Polt and knock him out with the Weavile with the Draco. So that's how the end game could have went had ZAPDOS not got knocked out there. But stuff happens. and I have to basically hope that he doesn't have fire move on his Chomp, but it's pretty much over regardless because EQ would put me in range of Weave Out afterward. So yeah, his Chomp at this point is at +1, so he's quicker than Dragon Bolt, as he's going to be able to just knock me out with the EQ. So pretty shit game. I don't think my opponent played that well, which is kind of the sucky part about it. But you know, like I said, these things happen. Can't exactly blame my opponent. I mean, it's can't really control that, but you know, still blows regardless. I believe my opponent to win 3-0, which I don't think he deserves at all. But yeah, I don't regret anything about my team. It was an excellent pick. I played damn near perfectly. I don't think there was a turn where there was any misplays or like technical mistakes or anything like that. So yeah, it was a lot of pressure in this game actually for me, because if I won this, my team basically guaranteed qualified for playoffs, because we were 12-10 at this point. It would have been 13-10. Then my teammates won afterwards, so 14 wins would have been enough to qualify, but because of this we had to play a tie break. So yeah, when you think about all of that, that just, man. But you know, after this game it was just like an empty feeling, like I was just numb. It's like getting lucked at this point. I can't really complain. I feel like doing that is just, there's really no point doing that anymore. Like, there's a lot of people who go ballistic over something like this, but I don't know, it was just like kind of numb after this. I was like, wow, there goes that. And then yeah, that's just pretty much the game. I mean, that's how it goes. So yeah, that's my World Cup round 3, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.